So let's sit tall and widen our sitting bones apart. And it was interesting yesterday in class, I was talking about how nature is love. And then I was just moving through Facebook today, and there was a song someone wrote about what is love. And he just showed all these pictures of nature. And I went, wow, it's so funny how everything kind of happens that way. Like you would think I saw that first and then I said it, but I said it and then I saw that. And it's kind of, I think it's just that feeling of like everybody's kind of in the same place and thinking, maybe not thinking, but just recognizing or realizing how, what really does bring us together, what really does bring us happiness, what does make us smile, which I think is such a beautiful thing to recognize that place within us that can be very happy. And in that space of just, even on a day like that today where, it's cloudy, but there's a beauty to it. I always seem to, I can find a beauty. And so I'm sure all of you can too. It's like the summer comes and it's so green and it's just beautiful. So the whole idea of just rooting into your practice today, because we are really focusing on our hips, is such a great thing to do, because we can just focus on this connection that we have, whether it be our sitting bones or our feet today, rooting and really creating that sense of connection. And there is that connection to something greater than yourself. And when we think about how massive nature is, because it's so big and it surrounds us everywhere, no matter where we are, it is this beautiful thing that we can connect to. And we do. I mean, you don't even have to think about it, but we do. I think that's why practicing outside is so enjoyable, because it really does bring us to this place of connecting to the earth, connecting to the sky, and connecting to all the elements that the universe and earth offer us. So as we bring our inner thighs back, I just want to make sure that everybody's feet are super active. You're hugging your heels in, press out of the metatarsal of your foot. Feel the energy of your hip points hugging into the midline. Feel the energy of your inner thighs releasing down, and shoulders to your ears, and gently roll your shoulders back. Soften the front ribs back towards your spine. And the more you do that, the more you'll feel an engagement of your lower belly lifting. So it is from this place, this core, that we want to breathe in and out of to connect to that power and that strength of the muscles, and then the muscle of our heart to open that up, that energy of love and surrender. So we have these two places we're working from, and it's a beautiful place to pulsate from. Let's bring our hands in front of our hearts, and we'll do the sound of Om, the invocation, and the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Bow your head to your heart to honor your spirit. On your inhale, lift your head up. Exhale, release your hands to the side and gently open your eyes. And let's come into a wide leg position on your mat. And just bring your toes in a little bit here. So your second toe, your toes are coming in, your heels are a little wider. And then I want you to really ignite the energy of hugging those heels in towards your midline to engage your muscles to your bone. And that would be your inner thighs, your quadriceps, and then see if you could even engage your back muscles as well. Your IT band, everything is just hugging into the midline. And then place your hands on your hip points right here and bring them in. Hug those hip points in and see what's happening to your inner thigh muscle when that happens. See what happens to your core. Shoulders up and back. Keep hugging in and then bring your fingertips in front, plug in, and then just lift up to the sky. So your torso is getting super long. Hug in, keep hugging into your midline, and then bring your hands down to the earth. If you need your blocks, you can use them, and just place your fingertips, metacarpals down. And let's take inhale, look up, and now from your tailbone, scoop the tail around your back and bow. So it's a little child's pose here. Not child's pose, cat-cow. Inhale up and curl. So you're breathing as you lift up. And then exhale, keep hugging into the midline. And then come to that neutral position. And let's walk over to the right foot and turn your right toes to the right. If you need to walk your back foot back, squeeze the top of the thighs together, hug in, and then elbow to knee, hand to hip. And we're going to just do a simple Parsvakonasana, the variation, holding our favorite drink. Bring your fingertips in front, plug in, and then really just lengthen up. So we're just warming the body up. And standing poses are great for our hips. So we have to really hug into the midline. And feel that back inner thigh lifting upward, and then big scoop of the tail. See if you can ignite your core. Full deep breath. And then root into your back foot and just windmill up gently to Viratu. Get long, hug in, roll the shoulders up and back. Full deep breath. Good, beautiful. Good, and then exhale, release down to the inside of your foot, hug in again and get long. And then bring your elbow to the inside, and let's do a little prayer position right here where you're bringing your elbow to the inside of your thigh and opening that whole right side of the torso to the left. Shoulders stacked. Good, and then come back to the middle. Hug in, get long. And then just turn over to your left foot, hugging into the midline, elbow to knee, hand to hip. And really hold your favorite drink. You do want to focus on those shoulders as well. Remember, the whole body's doing the pose. Your knee is over your ankle. Root into that right foot. Feel that right inner thigh lifting. Stack your shoulders. Fingertips in front, plug in, bicep to ear. And there's this beautiful line of energy from your heel to your fingertips. And it's very strong, like the sun. Good. Root into your back foot. Inhale up to Viratu. Keep engaging those inner thigh muscles. Feeling your core lifting upward. Stretch this outer hip back. That outer left hip back. Good, and then hands in, namaste, elbow to the inside of the knee, and just stretch that outer hip back. Open up, full deep breath. Good, and then come back to the inside, hug in, come forward, and we're gonna come onto our knees. So we're going to do a little twist here in the child pose twist. So you're going to take your left arm, plug it in, bring it underneath, and hug in. Plug that elbow back into the back of the heart. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. And come back to center. Second side. Full deep inhale and a full deep exhale. And then come back. And let's just do a downward facing dog now. So in your down dog, do a little catwalk. Bringing one heel down and then the other. And then you could bring your right knee to the left and then your left knee to the right, just warming up your hips. And then let's just circle the hips. Let's do a figure 8. And then the other way. Just warming the body. And then let's bring our right foot to the top. So with our right foot to the top, we're going to work a little bit on the back of our legs, the hamstrings. So if you have your blocks, you might need them here. Just frame your foot with your blocks. You could be really light on your fingertips. If you have the flexibility in the back of the leg, you don't need your blocks, that's fine. We're going to keep our back heel up and we're going to squeeze. So the first thing I want to do is hug into the midline and bring this energy from the heel all the way up to the back of the leg, all the way up to our sitting bone. Take a breath. So this is the first stretch of the back of the hamstrings. So be gentle. So, even here, we could use blocks. Hug in. And as I begin to take the outer right hip back, the knee will gently go back. Keep it bent a little bit if you need to. And then at the same time, lift your toes. So hug in and then get long. Now, I want you to isometrically stretch this heel back. You could see the foot moving even on your mat. That will really bring the muscle energy into the body. And then inhale, look up. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, get long. Exhale and bow. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. And then bring the foot down and then the knee down. And let's come into a down dog. And you might feel a difference between the two sides. I know I do. And then let's bring our left foot up, right knee down, hug in again. And always, if you need, you take your blocks. Especially first time around, it's nice to have those blocks with you. Hug in, and remember, you want to feel the energy from your heel all the way up the back of the leg to the sitting bone. Now lift your back knee up, hug in, and as you straighten your leg up, that outer left hip stretches back, your toes come up. Full deep breath. Keep bringing the right hip forward and then scrape that heel back and bow. Inhale, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and bow. And let's just do that one more time. Inhale, look up. And then on your exhale, release your knee and heel down and take your blocks away if you're using them. And let's come back to a down dog. And let's do a little catwalk. So let's bring our right foot up again and back knee down. And we'll just come to the inside of the right knee. You can walk your right foot over to the right. And if your hips are talking to you today, bring your toes to the right. That's fine as well. If you need to, put your block here. Otherwise, you're going to hug in and let that torso grow as you release your forearms to the earth. Now keep hugging your knee and your heel together. That will bring your right hip back, left hip forward, and you could just surrender here. Just bow your head to your heart. If you want, you could lift your back knee up. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. One more breath. And then release the knee down and come on up. And take your hand on your hip. And we're going to do a twist. If you want, you could lift your back knee up and just bring your fingertips to the sky. It's a very simple twist. We do it a lot, but it's very simple and sweet. And then release and down dog. Just do a little catwalk. And let's bring our left foot forward, right knee down. And bring your foot over to the side if you need to. Use your blocks here if you need to. And release your elbows down. And just feel your body here. This is a great time for you to just get into that space of feeling what's happening within. And then allowing your skin to soften. To just soften and surrender around that muscle and bone. You're hugging the knee and the heel together. You're bowing your head to your heart. And then if you want, you can lift your back knee up and really press out of the heel. Full deep breath. Good. If your knee is up, you can bring it down and come up. And then we'll bring our hand to our hip, shoulders stack. Lift your back knee up if you like, and open your heart. So keep squeezing the thighs together. Very good. And then exhale, release, and come back to a down dog. So bring your right foot forward and bring your back knee down. And now we're going to just play a little bit. So I'm just going to walk back on my mat so you can see my foot. So here, get back, bring your hip all the way back, and then lift. See what will happen. You'll stretch back enough so this leg can go as straight as you can. Once again, please use your blocks if you need them. Hug the heel and knee together, even out your hips. And then just fold as much as you can. And you're softening your heart. Your shoulders are up and back.
Your foot is very active and your right hip is stretching back. Hug in, scrape that heel. See if you can scrape that heel, energy of the heel back towards the sitting bone. And then press forward with the metatarsal of the foot. Good.
And then come up. So now we're going to do it the other way. So please just focus on what we're doing. You're going to scooch your foot up. So if you didn't use blocks before, you may need them now. You're going to really hug in, lift up your foot again. So now your hip isn't going to go so far back. You're going to be hugging in a lot, the heel and the knee. Now your hips may be over the knee or maybe even in front of your knee that's on the ground. Hugging that long, really active foot. My foot is super active. Hug, scrape that heel back, press out of the metatarsal, lengthen the torso long, and bow.
One more breath. And then bring the foot down.
Bring the back knee forward. See if you can pick that up a little bit. And then stretch back, bringing your hip back to the heel.
And bow again. So it's very gentle. We're not pushing the hamstring. And then come back.
And we're going to do down dog.
You should feel an opening in your right leg.
And then we'll bring our left foot forward and our right knee down. And the first thing I want you to do is get your hip all the way back towards your heel. So you can walk your foot back as well. And then come up with your foot and bow.
Scrape the heel back. Full deep breath. One more breath. And then come up on your foot
and scooch it forward. And lift the foot up. Hug it in.
Once again, you could just take note of where your knee
is in line with your hip, or maybe it's a little bit behind it. Hug in. Once again, please use blocks if you need them. Have them close by. Hug your heel in. Press out of the metatarsal of your foot. Get super long. And fold.
Keep scraping the heel back. And then that surrender is in the back of the heart. And it's so important to be rooting into the earth like flowers do to the earth, to the dirt. Coming down to that stula level in life of really reaching into the earth. And then
come back up. Down dog. Let's just do a little catwalk again. All right, let's do a little ekapada. Elbow behind your wrist. And lift your heart up. Let's just walk your left foot back as much as you can. So bring your heart open. Keep squeezing into the midline with your thighs. And you can turn around and just look back and make sure your shin and your heel is also in line. We want to make sure it's not hanging out there to the left. Now this foot is super active as well, both feet active. And we're first just going to fold. So we're just going to come forward and then bow our heads to our hearts. Keep hugging into the midline, making that connection to something greater than yourself. And it's so easy to think when we think of love, like love is the greatest thing that is in our lives. The love for the earth, the love for one another, our friends, our family. Nothing brings you more joy than the feeling of love. And when we come to our yoga mat, well, for me, I can say, when I first came to my yoga mat, it was really that discovery, that self-discovery that it was okay to love myself, because it was giving myself this amazing gift, the gift of this practice. So I am forever grateful. And just keep hugging the knees in. Love lets the world go on. Think of all the songs about love. This 4-letter word that just encompasses so much in every human being's life. I am definitely more brought to tears by happiness than by sadness for myself. I don't know why, but there's just more love there. More to celebrate. All right, I think that's it. I hope you guys weren't just hanging out. I was working really hard doing that. I would feel really bad if I was the only one working. Open your heart. Good, let's change sides. Ooh, nice and slow, guys. Oh boy. All right, second side, Ekapada. And walk that foot back. Whew, one side is different. I mean, well, for me, this side is a little more chatty. Hug in. And once again, just feel that heart come through. You could, once again, just glance back at your right foot now, making sure your shin and your heel is hugging in. And then stay very connected, right? So every part of the body is very connected. We don't want to lose that. You're going to hug those knees together. And the breath is super important here, because we're taking that breath, remember, from the root in our hearts, root of life in our hips. We send this energy all the way up. And we celebrate. We celebrate our being. Being one with nature. When we recognize the being one with nature, is a recognition that we too are nature. We are a part of it. And just like nature just loves to be enjoyed. It loves to create smiles on people's faces. And I feel that I'm like that too. I like to create happiness, and I'm sure that I'm not any different than any of you. So keep hugging those knees in. Just because I'm talking doesn't mean we're not working. There, that's beautiful. All right, down dog. Oh yeah. And do that catwalk. And let's do Ekapada again. Such a great hip opener. And let's walk that left foot back and just see where that takes us. Hug those knees in. And let's turn to our right knee and just bow to it.
So as we do that, make sure you're hugging your knees in towards one another. And make sure your right foot is active. Even your left foot, I'm hoping, is active already. So as I hug the knees in, that's going to give the outer right hip the opportunity to elongate. And it wants to, believe me. It wants to get long. And then let's just place the left hand on the earth. And you can place your right hand on a block or on your hip or on your sacrum or just on the side of your hip, and just roll the shoulder back to try to stack your shoulders any way you can, any way it works. And keep hugging your knees in. Oh boy, there you go. And then come back. And let's just go back to just surrendering. So it's a really big surrender here. If your head could reach the earth, that's awesome. And if it can't, that's okay as well. So we're just surrendering to the earth and making sure every part of our body is participating. Good, and let's come back up and we'll do a down dog. We'll do a little catwalk again. And let's bring our left knee up. And hug in. And now we'll just fold over to that left knee and bow. So everything is very active here. Keep squeezing the knees together, hugging your shins in. Keep hugging in. And then let's take our right hand, bring the palm down. You could use a block near your hip or your hand on your hip or your hand on your sacrum. We're just going to do a little twist, stacking our shoulders. And we're breathing into the hip. We're working both feet, bringing that right side of the torso to the left. Just keep hugging in. Just gentle breath. Soften the skin on your face. The amrita, it's like that sweet nectar. And then come back and we'll do another down dog. Oh, that feels good. Give yourself a little sigh if you like. And let's just do one more. Let's bring our right knee up. Really active right foot. And we're going to just turn to this foot. But then we're going to move it into a twist. So you can see in a turn, my shoulders are not stacked. I'm just turning to the foot. But now I want to hug in and get my elbow to the inside of the foot or to
the toes. Now stretch that, walk that left foot back as much as you can, and then palms together. And stack those shoulders as best you can. Full deep breath. Breathe. Beautiful. And let's come back and let's just bow to that. Keep squeezing your knees together. Keep hugging into the midline. And then come back and we'll do a down dog. And left knee over to the left breast. So this time we're over here, we're going to bring that foot. So we're turning first, and we're going to bring the elbow to the inside of the foot or to the front of the toes. Hug your back shin in, your back heel in, as we stack our shoulders and hug. And we begin to just the soma of life, that place of ease and light. Sweetness. Easing out of the hips. And then come back, and we'll just bow to ourselves one more time. And then inhale, come up and walk back. Let's take our right foot and let's bring both legs out in front. Let's grab that extra skin. So the blocks are always good. Also, we're going to fold over to Paschimottanasana, go back to our hamstrings. But it's really important not to ever go deeper than you can. And here, of course, if you need a blanket, please sit on one. If your hamstrings are a little tight, feel free to get your strap, put it around your heels, and bend your elbows and plug in. Work your feet. This is super important. The other thing that's really important is you're scraping your heels back. And you'll see when you scrape your heels back, the energy of that muscle is being connected to the bone. So breathe. Scoop. You're growing in your torso. The top of that thigh bone is releasing down towards the earth as you fold. You want to make sure that's happening. You want to make sure your natural curve in your lower back is present. If you can touch your shins, hug them in. And as you hug them in, press out of the ball of the big toe and let the outer foot, the little toe side of the foot, come away from and what's in front of you and actually towards you. So take a deep inhale, get long. On your exhale, you begin to fold. And remember, hug those heels in towards your hips. Now activate the metatarsal by pressing forward with the metatarsal as you hug in the heel. These are some deep inhales and exhales. You can have a slight bend in your knee if you need it too, please. We never grasp for a pose. We're always in deep acceptance of where we are today. Good, and then inhale, look up, and gently sit up. Bring your hands in front, plug in, and open it up. Really get long between your hip points and your fingertips. Working out of your feet. Good, and then slowly exhale and release. So let's bend our right knee and bring it over our left and just grab that extra skin. If your hamstrings, if your hips are tight, you're going to stay like this. If your hips are open enough that you could bring your left knee over to the right, you will come into the full pose of Gomukhasana. So here, hug your heels in, press out of your metatarsal. Shoulders up and back. Soften the skin on your face. Let's first just fold forward. So shoulders to your ears, roll the shoulders back, and bring your fingertips, walk them forward as you come forward. And perhaps you're resting your whole belly and torso on your legs, and then bow your head to your heart. So you notice in the hip openers, we bow our head a lot to our heart. And I love that because it is really about recognizing our true nature. And we're of that place of acceptance of no matter where we are, we bow to ourselves. Because if we're in our truth, then the truth will set us free. And then just come up nice and slow. And let's just bring our right hand behind us and twist to the right. Belly, shoulder, chest, shoulders, neck, and head. And come back to center. Good, let's change sides. Once again, be up on a blanket if you need to. Grab that extra skin. Work your heels, hugging them in, and press out of your metatarsal. And we root like we're rooting into the dirt. Rooting into the dirt so that we can blossom up and be this beautiful part of nature. And then as we root down, the thigh bone, top of the thigh bones root down, and then we fold. We fold right from there, right from those hips. You can walk your fingertips forward, bend your elbows if you need to. You sink into the pose with your heart. And when you get to your edge, you bow. So these are beautiful deep breaths. Feel like the breath is the water. We're watering our hips. We're watering our root as we root down. And we all know that when the dirt is wet, the roots thrive. And then inhale, grow. Come up, and we twist from belly, chest, shoulders, neck, and head over to the left. And gently come back to center. Oh, that feels good, huh? And bring your feet out in front of you again. And let's get that extra skin and roll it back. Don't forget, if you need the blanket, you sit on it. So let's grab our right foot and floss the knee back. And then bring the foot over to the left side of the body. Now, if you could hook it into your elbow, you'll be like this. Otherwise, just hold the foot up at the ankle. Now, you can see how I'm kind of straight here. So if you can do that as best you can, that's awesome. You see what I mean? Like the knee and the heel are in line. So if you can do that, that's great. That's kind of what we're going for. And then we're bringing the heel into the body and the knee away from the body. And that's when you go, oh yeah, that's what we're doing, right? Because then you feel it. And then try not to drop the heel down. Try to keep it up. Now both feet are working, even though it's only the right foot that we're holding. And then let's just rock it. Rock that baby. And then let's take the foot into the hand. So we're going to go into the hamstring again. Once again, if the strap is available, put the strap around the heel and stretch the leg up. Now, when you stretch the leg up, stretch up with your heart as well, so your shoulders roll back. Oh, breathe, full deep breath. Heart is lifted, shoulders are back, both feet are active. Good. And then bend the knee, and we're going to flaunt the foot, bring the knee, heel back, and place the heel, if we can, at the groin or the whole foot on the thigh. Once again, knee is on the earth. So if the knee is up, please put it on something to support it. And then let's grab that extra skin again. Now I really like here of hugging that heel back towards the hip again, and then turning my body, that torso, so you can see how in line it was or is. Use the strap if you care to. Shoulders up and back. On your next exhale, begin to frame your whole leg with your fingertips. Now I like to keep my left elbow bent and plug it into the back of the heart. You can see I just plug that shoulder blade back. And then I take my right hand to the outside of the leg, wherever it can, hug the shin in, scrape that heel back. And then if I can, I just walk down to the little toe side of the foot. When I get to my edge, I surrender. Work the foot so the heel is still hugging back into the hip and the metatarsal is still stretching forward. So there's a lot of energy. It's not just one-way energy. Energy is moving in all different directions. So stay with your breath. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. One more breath. And then look at your foot, no matter where you are. Frame your leg and come up. Good. And then let's bring that leg out and just grab that extra skin. Just take a breath. And then we'll grab the little toe side of our left foot and just floss it a little bit here. Good, and then once again, you can take your strap at your heel and straighten that leg as best you can. Bend your elbows, plugging into the back of your heart. And the foot is super active, both feet. My feet are super active, and you want to make sure yours are too. So your shoulders are back, your heart is forward. Don't do more than you can. Just be very accepting of where you are today. And then very slowly on your exhale, take the foot, work it. So you have a nice flaunted foot. Bring the heel into the groin or your foot against your thigh. Grab your extra skin and put your block under your knee if you need to. And then once again, torso is over the leg. So that's what you want to try to do. Full deep breath. So here, this is rooted down. I'm going to fold forward from my hip as I frame my leg. Now my right elbow plugs into the back of the heart. You see that action? That's a beautiful feeling. And then my left hand is on the outside of the right leg. You could hug that shin in. This will get your torso super long. When you get to your edge, you bow. At the end of your next breath, inhale, look at your foot, get long. Both hands lift you up, press down to lift up. And let's bring our legs back out in front of us. And just get those inner thighs away. Good job. Work your feet. So we'll do one last pose before we surrender fully. So here, let's get our right shin, and we're going to parallel the shin to the top of our mat and take our left hand on our left foot and just come into Agni Stambhasana. Get your extra skin going back. It's super long. So you want to try to have the ball or the big toe winning the race. It's a little challenging, but you're just pushing out that way with the ball, the big toe, and you're rooting down and you're lengthening up. Now this may be enough, or you're going to try to fold once again from your hips. And then grab, you can put your hands right at the ball of the big toe and press that foot into your hand as you bow. And then inhale, look up. We're going to take this right into our pinnacle pose here. We're going to take our right hand to the little toe side of the left foot. The left hand we're going to bring in. So you can try to get it all the way up on your shoulder. Get that knee as close to your shoulder as possible. Then press into your hand and stretch your leg out for Sukhasana. Oh, yeah. We do the best we can, always. Good. Bring that foot down. Take your right foot and bring it over to the left knee. Side body long, shoulders back. and fold. We could put our hands on our ball of the big toe and press into the hand with the foot. And then inhale, lift up. So here we go. We're going to take left hand to the little toe side of the right. And just really try to get that. Oh, you could use your right hand to get your shoulder and knee on the same plane there. Now, what's important here is to keep this foot super active, both of your feet, and then lift up. Open it up. Root to rise. Good. Exhale. Release. Ah, very awesome. And let's just sit. Grab those inner thighs and roll them back. And let's just take a few moments and just imagine us in our favorite place in nature, so we can get that love flowing through our body. So if you give yourself an opportunity every day to just sit with your eyes closed and to just be with your breath, you could start with 5 minutes a day. And keep hugging your heels in and engaging your body to root into the earth with your heart open. So imagine being in your most favorite place right now, whether it be the beach or the woods or the mountains or a brook, a river. So many beautiful places to choose from. With your eyes closed, just melt into this place. Just feel yourself just becoming one with it. As the breeze hits your face, feel the breeze and be the breeze. As the sun hits your body, feel it and be it. Feel the earth underneath you, supporting you, and feel that you are one with it. Smell the air, whether it be at the beach and you're at the ocean, or you're in the forest and you smell the earth and the trees, the flowers. And then just listen. Just listen to the birds. Listen to the trees rustling against the wind. And now we are nature. We sit with nature. We become one with it. And as we sit and feel this tremendous amount of love for the beauty that surrounds us every day, this pure sense of gratitude, we take this with us. It's unfortunate sometimes as human beings that we forget how blessed we are. To feel the love of the earth, the rainbow, the ocean, the sun, the trees, the brooks and rivers. Feel their love pulsating within you. And then whenever you're ready, just lay down on your mat and let's just start with the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana for a few breaths. And just release any energy that isn't what we want it to be today. If it's any toxic energies, just breathe it out. Any conversation, any feeling that we don't need to take with us, just let it come out in Supta Baddha Konasana. And know the beauty that you are. And once you have reached this place of ease and light and calm, feel yourself surrendering fully to your mat. Shavasana.